All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the TAWKS podcast. I'm your boy, DAKA, and to my left and to my right, we got
your boy BLEU, a.k.a. Torian, and across from me is the lovely
Sunflower SHAKUR, you know.
Yes. And we are in the studio with a special guest today. What's going on?
What's up, guys? It's Billy Banx here, chopping it up with the TAWK gang. Thank you guys for having me here, by the way. Awesome.
Thank you for coming, sir. We're excited to have you. And
your favorite Coco guest.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, if you hear in the background, don't you touch it. Don't touch the board. She's trying to touch things, but it's okay. Amara's here, too, so if you hear in the background, just say hi. And just
to your phone. Just go, hey, Amara.
Comment on our Instagram page and say, hey, Amara, with a waving hand. If you hear Amara, just comment on our, on all of the platforms. Right. We're on everything. Just a reminder, we are on every single podcast platform. We're on Apple. We are on Google Play. If you have Android, we're on Spotify. We're also now on Stitcher. So make sure y'all check us out. So we're on everything except for SoundCloud because, I don't feel like messing with them right now. But here we are. But like we said before, we're here with Billy Banx.
What's up with it?
So, Billy, let's just get right into it. So tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your music. We're just going to talk about all those things, but tell us a little bit about you first.
For those who don't know me, which seems like sometimes impossible that people don't know me.
Okay.
Celebrity.
No. Like, so, I guess because of my name, like my name, like my real name is very memorable. And then I guess because of like the face, like Billy is my real name. So a lot of people just be like thrilled that my name is Billy or don't believe it. And then it kind of goes from there. So there's that. I named it after my dad, actually. My dad and my granddad, which is where I got my name from. My first name. I am 27. I was born May 30th, so I'm a Gemini. Shout out to all my Geminis out there. What's up, twins?
I'm about to say she's a Gemini.
That's why she wanted to hug me. Like, she saw me and was just like, yes, who are you? Like, what's up?
Fellow Gem.
Like, I love it. The energy was great. I don't have any kids. I don't know if that's important, but I don't have any kids.
Make sure you
I like
drop
kids,
into the
though.
DMs.
that was definitely
that
was conversation, right?
People like, we can't find nobody without kids.
Yeah,
there you go.
There you
go one right there.
We got one for you.
I work a regular job during the day, and I do music like just all the time. I've been singing since I was 7, started in church, and then kind of branched off and actually started doing my own thing with my friends. I was in a group before with my friends and my cousin, which was definitely fun. They're definitely both dope artists, too. Make sure y'all check them out.
Check who out?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who you shouting out?
It's Cheney. Of course, Cheney. And then we have my cousin, Demondale, or Dale, or Mondale, whichever name.
And y'all probably seen Mondale. If y'all look at if y'all see the little, what's that thing? Mike Myers.
Oh, yeah. like, cause it's definitely
everybody know
viral.
that,
Like,
yeah.
He's definitely really creative with, like, his videos and stuff, so it's definitely dope. So, yeah, I don't know, I'm just a very chill dude. I don't do too much. I like to, do my recreational things of that nature.
You can talk
and hang
about
out
it.
with my
I'm about to say,
friends.
this is an R-rated show. So we talk about whatever. I'm about to say, last
we're
week we talked about pothead moms.
Oh,
so, you know.
I didn't even know that was clearly it's a thing. So, but no, yes, I like my weed. I like it a lot, actually. Enjoy that.
It's a great thing.
Enjoy just chilling.
God, gave it to us, came from that.
It did. Speak that. We're gonna keep it there and not argue. But yeah, I'm just chill. Like, I don't do too much. I stay out of drama. Like, I concern myself with self-growth and then being a positive influence for those who are around me and a motivation for those around me and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I be doing or about me.
So you are definitely a busy guy. You've got a lot of things going on. So talk to us. Let's talk a little bit about your music, okay? You started off in church at age 7.
Yes.
So what was kind of like that moment, like, or was there a defining moment that you're like, I want to do this professionally? Like, I want to do this for the rest. This is what I want to do when I grow up.
Now, the crazy part is, like, I didn't start wanting to do music as a serious thing until, like, maybe, like, I started, like, really doing it. like 2.5 years ago. I met my manager at Applebee's. I was serving tables. Him and his mom was there, and I was humming, cleaning my section or whatever. Like, I'm always singing at work. So I'm doing my little thing, and she overheard me, and she called me over to the table and was like, you sing? I was like, yeah. And he was like, you shouldn't have said that because she's going to ask you to sing. And I was like, oh, it's cool. And I sung for her. Me and him exchanged numbers, and that Sunday he had me in the studio recording my first song, which was Complicated. And I recorded that with this guy named Dejar, which is also a dope artist if you guys get to check him out. And then after that, I recorded Telepathic. And then I started performing and stuff. And I don't know, like, just it was like the whole thing of just going to the studio for the first time and like actually recording something that I wrote was like just very like invigorating for me. And at that moment, I just knew, like, nah, this is what I want to do. And I believe that this is what I'm made for, and I know that I can go far with it. And it felt right. I'm one of those people that like to listen to myself and the inside of my spirit. And it never rumbled my spirit. Yeah. It only made my spirit, like, want more in a good way. So it's kind of what made me want to do it.
Definitely. And I'm always one of those people, when you have that feeling, that gut feeling, I always am a proponent for go with that. Because, you know, that intuition doesn't usually take you the wrong path.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you have that strong vibe on the inside, it's like, okay, and it's from the gut, not from the here or here, it's always a positive move. Now, you stated that you started singing in church. And it's common for most people that sing mostly like R&B and things of that nature, too. And then on the other side with country, did you ever have a conflicting moment like most people do? Like, you know, like, oh, man, I sing secular music, but now I'm going to R&B. Like, did you ever have a feeling in there where it was like, I'm going away from, like, my roots?
No. Honestly, for me, like, I grew up kind of like, my mom is real. Like, my mom loves God and one, like, the loving God people I know. But she's real. Yeah. You know what I mean? And my mom don't walk around doing, like, doing things that are unholy or anything, but it's like my mom is just a real person. Yeah. And it was like it made me understand that your faith in God and you being with God it doesn't have to do with like it's not as drastic as I guess some people try to make it seem. Yeah. And that's what I took from, you know, my game from, you know, reading the word and all that kind of stuff was just a thing of if I'm singing secular music, well, I guess whatever you consider secular music, I guess because it's not gospel, it's like God doesn't love me any less. And it doesn't make me feel like I'm doing the wrong thing because I'm singing about loving somebody else. Definitely. Or in the form that I want to love them or show them my love. It's like I'm not allowed to express. Yeah. So it's just all about how you look at it. And I don't think God looks at it like, oh, you're saying you want to do this to somebody. So it's kind of like that for me.
Okay. Definitely feel that.
I feel like you always have to. Well, for me personally, on the religious aspect, I feel like everybody has their own personal relationship with God. It's not like a one-all, fit-all.
Yep.
Because why would you make so many different people if you want them all to conform into being this one type of person? Yep. Like, my God knows how to curse. I'd be like, God, these bitches getting on my nerves.
I feel so bad when I say it. I'd be like, God, I'm gonna smack this. Like,
he's just like, I know.
Like, right.
He knew it was going to happen.
I mean, I thought it. So he heard it.
I already knew it was going to happen. And then I'm that person that'd be like, oh, well, that's what you're supposed to, repent for. I repent.
Sorry.
That's right.
And then do it again in an hour. You know what? I'm back.
Jesus knows. I'm going to ask you for it when I'm ready, when I know I ain't going to be doing it no more. I'm going to ask you for it then. Right. I ain't going to ask you for the repentance right now while I'm still trying to be foolish. It ain't going to work out.
There you go. Exactly. So, with that being said, what are some of your other like inspirations that like you take when you're like making music, or like people that have influenced you, whether it's artists or like people that you know that kind of like influence your sound, and like how you kind of express yourself through your music?
Well, first I'm a hopeless romantic, so I'm one of those people. I love love, and I like I love the chivalry and the whole like falling in love idea thing. So. That's first where my music comes from, just because I feel like it's a lot of things that miss that whole somebody making you feel special in a real way, where it's not like a whatever you can give to me, then you're special to me, instead of it being like a genuine thing of like who you are is special, and that's what I like. So I drive with that. Just one day finding something like that, so I put it into my music. Whether it's something that actually happened, whether it's something I've seen happen in a movie, and I just write it or whatever. So I just kind of like go from there.
Definitely.
And I was gonna say, like, and I'm glad you said that. I was gonna ask, taking like your personal experiences and putting them into your music, like, how do you go about that? And is vulnerability a part? Well, you said you're hopeless romantic, so I guess vulnerability is a strong part of your writing process. So, like,
yes, because that's the only place where I feel like I can be most vulnerable. Like, because if like people knowing who I am, some people may think I'm a hopeless romantic, but some people probably think I'm not. Because I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. But I'm very vulnerable in my writing, and I don't mind being honest in my writing because it's like you don't know. So I'm just making this music because I want you to feel something. I don't want you to think so deep about what I'm talking about. I want you to think about what I'm talking about and how it applies to you, maybe, or what place do it take you to when you hear my song. Like, how does it make you feel more than anything? Not necessarily what I'm like, who I might be talking about or anything like that.
Gotcha. But vulnerability in writing and creative aspect. It takes music and a lot of other things to different heights, but a lot of things in music too. Because when you see like other artists back in the day, established artists, right? Then when they come out with a vulnerable album, it usually be like one of their best albums, right? Because you get to feel a whole different part of them instead of a facade. And for me personally, I think from being on the writer side, when you write with something and you write with that vulnerability, you write with knowing that it's making you vulnerable and just putting that on paper to put it out, you get a more genuine self of yourself, but you also give your fans and your fan base the real you.
And the best
you never have to come back to try to, okay, this is the real me now, and they have to rewrite who you are. You know what I mean?
Right.
Keep that.
I agree with that. Oh, thank you.
Keep that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's very important. So that leads me to just another thing. So we as a group were talking about Summer Walker. So I don't know. Are you familiar with like what she's got going on and everything right now? Kind of like with like her anxiety and like her performances. And
I've heard stuff, but like what's crazy, I focus so much on people's music. Like your personal life ain't got nothing to do with me. Because, I mean, that's kind of, we're not real friends.
In this case, it should.
We're not real friends.
Well,
but
as a fan, it should.
Right.
If you're a fan.
And I was going to say, like, not to sound no way, but, like, I mean, I'm a fan of people, but I'm not, like, a fan like that to where, like, I'm, like, following people. Like, I go to work. Like, I be working, and I be trying to put my project together, so I try not to hear too many different sounds. So that, it's not,
real.
you know what I mean? So, like, I love Summer Walker. I have both her, like I have her music and everything. Like I love her music, but as far as knowing her personal life, nah. I be chilling. I be watching Netflix all the time, not even worried about. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like just only listen to people's music for real. I don't really know too much about them. That's
gotcha. Well, the reason I brought it up is only because we were talking just like how we were just talking about not losing yourself when you're trying to create and keeping that same era of vulnerability. So what it's seeming like from like how she's explained it and like her fans and stuff, the kind of like not even really the kind of music she's making, but this whole process of having to be a people person, right? And having to like be there for her fans, like doing meet and greets and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but her album is called Over It, first of all. So she's like, and she keeps talking about like on social media and everything. She's like, I'm just over the industry. I don't like this industry stuff. Like, I really rather just be going home half the time. But it's kind of like, yeah, but you signed up for, you know what I'm saying?
Because it's nothing new. Like, I don't know exactly.
Like,
I feel like you know exactly what being in the limelight does. Like, there is a point in your career where you know it's about to change. Yeah. And if you knew that I'm not for this stuff, like, because I know personally I'm not for it. I would be Alicia Keys. Like, I'm not wearing makeup. Like, that's just not who I am now. So why am I going to make that everyday thing?
Exactly.
And I feel like at this point in time, definitely in our generation, we fully know what it means to be a celebrity. Yeah. And for her to make that transition from being just the cleaning girl who had her own business, who was doing her own thing, into okay, well, I'll do a tour. Because you knew you had the tour. You signed for the tour. You knew you had the meet and greet. You knew what all of that entitled. And then for you to be like, no, I'm not going to do any of this. Because the picture that we were going off of was a fan who did the meet and greet. And she said that she wasted her money. She said she was there for like 5 seconds. Summer asked nobody to touch her. And I don't like being touched, but I know if that's my job,
right,
I'ma hug my fans.
Right.
Like, and one, I can't pick Summer Walker out of a lineup. She look different every time I see her. And she just keeps looking, each performance just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And she has no energy behind it. She just isn't, what's that? It's called Little Table.
Tiny Desk.
Tiny
NPR
Desk.
Tiny Desk.
Oh, I love that show. Make sure you watch
don't
it.
watch her
I love that
performance,
show.
because her performance is absolutely ridiculous. She has zero energy behind her song, and I didn't even know it was her. She sounds great, but you can tell like she just wasn't into it, and it's just it's like, yeah, you're living out the rest of your contract so you don't get fined, pretty much. But is it worth it?
I think that's the thing about it. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm always talking about like just being like my authentic self, and I would never try to change to get like I don't have to do anything like me. Like change anything about me to gain fans. It's like I may have to maybe promote more or market more, but that doesn't change who I am. That doesn't make me feel like, oh my gosh, I'm being somebody else. No, that's business. That's called business and working. So it's like, I try to stand firm on, not even try. I stand firm on just making sure if I don't feel it, if I ain't feeling it, I'm not doing it. Yeah. And I'm not gonna get myself into something that I don't want to do. You know what I mean? So when I signed up for doing this, I told my, like I had already said, I don't care to be signed, because I wanted a mindset of even if you didn't get signed, you still straight, because look at the things that you're accomplishing in the first place because you believed enough in yourself to even take that leap and try something. So for me, it's just a thing of if you genuinely really want to do it and you do it for the right reasons, you get the right outcome. And it's not going to be easy getting the right outcome, because I think people think the right outcome is only, oh, if everything's going right. No, the right outcome kind of comes in mistakes and disasters and chaos and all this other stuff. So just like music really helped me understand patience a little bit, because it was kind of like I'm okay with the stuff that happens with my music. Like my video was supposed to come out literally like way before it actually came out, and it was like things in the background that's like, no, this is what it's like, and it was what it was, but we kept rolling. And that's kind of how you have to be, and to me, in this kind of industry, you have to be very strong and self strong and love yourself for real, because these people will eat you up. Like if you don't know what you're doing, they'll bamboozle you. And we learned this from the 90s artists. You got like people like their contracts and the stuff that they can't do now because they didn't read, because they saw a dollar sign and all this other crazy stuff. So it's like, I ain't want to be like that. I try to learn from other people's mistakes so that I can make better moves and decisions and not be messed up in the end.
Definitely.
That's something I always wonder about, like other artists. Why haven't they learned from the mistakes at the 90s? Like TLC was literally broke down why they weren't making any money, and yet these other artists still aren't reading anything. Even Blueface was like, I don't even know who I'm signed to. Like, how do you not know who you signed to?
Never mind.
No, bring it up.
Say
Go
it.
ahead. No, because I know we've talked about this a little bit before. Bring it up, because that's a real question.
I mean, first of all, Blueface, I'm like, why? But that's just me personally.
No, he actually had a song that came out just now with, I think, Gunna, and me and my boyfriend joke all the time that that Gunna was like, "You not getting on this damn song unless you rap on beat." Like,
I mean, I just don't understand. Like, how are you out of breath and you ain't even? Anyway,
no bar having ass nigga.
I'm just, But aside from all of that, I do think that it takes a team, right? So, although you go in with yourself and everything of that nature, blase blah. When you get to that point of signing a contract and being in front of record labels and executives, it's a lot. But you have to have a team that you trust. And we've talked about this. Yeah. About having those people around you that one, that's not dependent on you to be able to be like, okay, well, we know he about to go somewhere, she about to go somewhere. we gonna ride with you. And then when we get there to that table, and now it's a whole thing where, okay, we talked about all this, it's all in front of us, but now I'm going behind you to be like, okay, well, you know, I don't think that was a good deal for him, but can we do this? And then kind of earmark me over here type of thing, because that does happen with some of the people when they go in to make these contracts, because then they end up talking about, oh, my lawyer, you know, I thought I could trust him, or my manager, I thought I could trust him, but they went behind my back and this, that, and the third. So first and foremost, you have to have that team that you can trust, and it don't have to be a huge team.
Nope.
You can have somebody that knows.
Team, I feel like it
I got like a team of 3 people. Like
Exactly.
I got my camera dude, my publicist, and my manager, and that's it. And we be like, when I tell you we make moves, like it's
because I love
it.
For myself, if I ever attempted to go to that level, when it came to anything contractual, I'm good with looking at stuff, but all I need is my uncle, and with him and how he goes through with different stuff and look at different things and the way that he can operate in different areas, I'm good with him with like 5. He could be 5 different people for me.
Right.
So, you know, it's like when you know who you can use and who you can have next to you that can play multiple roles, you don't need a board of people, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, you got 3 people, 2 people, 3 people.
3 people.
And you run it.
And they motivate me. They listen. They're like the entire team. Like they're the listeners before the song drop to give me pointers.
Exactly.
They're the picture takers. They're the videographers. Like they're everything that I need in that moment to make Billy Banx something successful in the vision. Like I think the main thing is like my team see the vision like me, and it's hard to find people who want your vision just as bad as you want your vision, and that's amazing. Like that's a good thing
because they want it for you, not for them.
Exactly. Yeah. And it goes a whole different way, and you can feel it too. So,
and like you mentioned, of you know, you stand firm into if this is not what you feel or what you want, you don't go into it.
And my team is like that.
Yeah, and
they're literally the same.
It's like
they get the same intuitions and the same. Like my publicist, we had we were supposed to go record with I was going to go record with this guy I had met or whatever, because like people hear you sing and I don't really know what people think, but we drove out to the spot or whatever, and she didn't feel right, so we didn't even go inside, like, and I was just like, if you didn't feel good about it, I'm with it, and I don't feel good about it. Right. You know, I wanted to go in, but I'm like, if you're doing something and you really felt that strong about it, nah, I ain't with it, because I know she's just like me. Exactly. To where her intuition doesn't lead her in the wrong direction.
Exactly. So, and a lot of times, you know, people fold. You know, they bring that crew with them, and that crew telling them, hey, you know, no, I know this is your time. This is what you feel like is your time, but it ain't with them, right?
Right. Yeah.
You need to chill out. It ain't this. No, we could go somewhere else. But you have some people that are just so strong going, oh no, I'm finally at the table. I can get this contract. I get the label, and I can get and they don't listen to the people on the outside. So you know they push them out, and that's one of the things that happens in like a TLC and the other ones that we see too. But what I get from you yourself, I feel that connection that you have for yourself, the vibe and the energy. So keep it. Like that might be my whole thing. That's the tweet.
It.
Like you know, keep that. Stay true to you, because this is the first time that I've heard someone recently that really has expressed so hard in so many different ways in a short amount of time of how they really keep to themselves, and that's something that's really gonna hold you and take you.
I mean, I didn't always be like this. Like I said, it took a lot to get here, and I just look at it like the stuff I went through was preparing me for where I'm going. And I had to man up and understand, like, these things are preparing you. If you can't take this, bro, you ain't ready for where you about to go, because those things are going to seem like Godzilla. You're dealing with a lizard, and you're, like, crying, and you're upset, and you're doing all this, and it's like, no, you're about to be dealing with Godzillas. And pterodactyls and all this other crazy stuff. So it's like, I had to understand that, and I had to take that and be like, okay, how am I going to take this and zoot it out in a positive way and keep myself motivated and not go back to that place? And it's literally just me knowing I don't want to be back there and being so proud of where I am, and then my team ain't gonna play that. Like my team ain't gonna let me fall off. Like they don't play that. If it sounds like I'm going in the wrong direction, or it seems like I'm getting in a way, they'll let me know. And it's one of those things where I really respect their opinions and because they're honest.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of honest people in your life like that. So it's like when you have them, you definitely want to listen to them and cherish that because you don't want to lose them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Exactly. So I want to get into like your latest record that I've heard.
Yeah.
So Kick It. That's your latest.
That's right. Hashtag
right.
kick it.
Hashtag Kick. There we go. So I want to get into this record for a little bit because, first of all, love the sound.
Did you see the video?
I did see the video.
Okay,
No,
I'll wait. I'll let you build up.
I want to talk about your process. Like,
okay, gotcha.
With, picking like your visuals and then the song itself. So like I want to get into like the song itself first. So tell me like a little bit about how hashtag Kick It came about.
So I was in a place where like I was newly single and a lot of people around me like they're like, oh, you're not with nobody, you should talk to somebody. And I'm like just one of those kind of people, like I don't like to rush things and I like to get to know people because I'm just like, people just do a lot.
Yeah. And
I'm better off just being by myself, so it ain't even that deep. So Kick It was just a song that like let people know like I don't like making things complicated. I don't like doing all this extra stuff. Let's just kick it. We cool.
Yeah.
If we know what's going on, we straight. We don't have to do anything more than just that. So Kick It came from that place. Like went on a few dates here and there, and I was just like, gosh, and the song kind of came to me. I was like, because I'm like, I just want to kick it with somebody. Like, I ain't trying to make it all that. Like, I just want to kick it with somebody. And so, yeah.
I like that. So let's talk about the video. How do we get to the visuals? Because you saw it on the boardwalk, right?
Yes.
Because I was like, oh, boardwalk. First, it's just a great location to shoot.
Thank you.
It was a nice sunny day and everything. I gotta go watch the video if you haven't seen it.
Sunny is understated. Like it was freaking scorching.
Oh, it was hot.
Hot, y'all. Like this summer was hot, but like, oh man, like for a second I was like, why did I decide to come out here? Like it was so hot. So it did like. Thank you so much because I think it came out amazing too. Like I was very shocked, but like I told my team, I was like, yo, when we drop a video, like. I don't want something that's mediocre. You know, I want to give them something that was worth waiting for.
Right.
Like I've never put out a video before. It was my first video, and I wanted it to be everything that I envisioned it to be, and it was. It was fun shooting the video. It was like super fun. I had never done it before. Yeah. The shorty that's in the video, Michaela. Shout out to Michaela. Y'all can follow her. Definitely got her tagged on my page. But she's dope. Her first time doing a video, and she did a phenomenal job. Like watching her, I was like, "You're so good at it." Thank you.
Y'all did.
I told her to be as natural as she could. You know, I wanted to make sure she was comfortable because I mean, I have a high respect for women. Period. So it's like I wanted to make sure she was comfortable, and that she enjoyed herself, and that I didn't do anything to make her uncomfortable. And I end up like on the news or something crazy when I get on get top dog. So I wanted to make sure I kept everything under control. So yeah.
It was good. I got like a nice from the song and the visuals, I got like a 90s vibe, like early 2000s. Like it was just like real chill, like you said, real chill, just like a vibing record, you know? So it was definitely like a summertime.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me too, that 90s, 2000s feel, but while watching it and hearing it in the back, like in my head, I was also humming Yo with Chris Brown.
Like,
that's where it kind of like,
I remember that video.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I was like, I wonder. So I wonder the video, the inspiration with the movements and everything, was that part of it or just?
No, I just kind of like when I wrote the song, like I kind of envisioned what I like did in my mind.
Okay.
So like I knew I wanted to create this thing of, like I wanted to create this imagery that the guy meets the girl, it's love at first sight, and like he's just talking to her and making her feel good, and not trying to. He ain't trying to like bag her and nothing like that. He just trying to chill with her a little bit and show her something that's different from what the other dudes are doing.
Nice. So, and I think the video did an awesome job with portraying that as well.
Thank you. I'm glad it did. Like, cause I was a little upset, like a little bit, cause there is like this scene. My publicist, like I said, she dope. Like, I needed another person, like an extra in the video. She was right there, ready for it. Like,
there you go.
She was cranky that morning, but she got on board. She got on board. But it was dope. She was in it, and I was so sad when I found out that the audio wasn't loud enough for us to be able to use the clip. So we didn't get to use it. So I'll just probably like post it later on since I'm talking about it, so you guys can see it. But yeah, it was definitely a fun experience. Like, I'm ready to do it again. Yeah, like, I am so ready to do my next, because I have a song coming out soon, so I'll be, you know, dropping new music and doing all that kind of stuff.
What's the name of this song?
Hashtag Fallen. So just to kind of give a rundown, so my the name of the album is actually called The Hopeless Romantic. Okay. Because I just kind of wanted to go ahead and get it out there, like, this is who I am, and this is kind of, you know, what I'm giving y'all.
Nice.
And so in each song, I wanted it to be a hashtag. Okay. Because it's a feeling. Each song gives you a feeling, and it's an emotion, and everybody wants to post everything. So it's like when you listen to my song, the mood that you in, the hashtag matches, and it's the name of the song. And it was also a great marketing tool too. So
that's great. Yeah.
I meant to, me and Aaron was listening to your oh my God, was it the one you was doing in the pool? You was
the freestyle to
Meg Thee Stallion?
Yes.
Yes. So we was I was like, yo, that's supposed to be my G-Ho caption. I didn't even do it. I barely wanted to post my G-Ho pictures. But I was just like, yes, quotables. And I think that's what's most important when you're an artist, like having quotables. Because I think the baby, personally, his biggest thing right now is that, one, you sound the same all the time, and nothing stands out like the way lyrics used to stand out back in the day. Like, definitely with like Lil Wayne, like you pulling something from those songs, and I just don't feel like music nowadays really has stuff that you are pulling from. Maybe the hook, but nothing where you like, damn, he
but
really
you know,
did that.
And I had this conversation a lot. I think now with music, and it's a shame because R&B doesn't get the light that it should. That's my personal opinion.
With people like Jacquez.
Not Jacquez. Is it Jacquez?
Is that it?
Jacquez.
I thought it was Jacquez.
No.
Where he at? Is he still the king of R&B?
I was just about to say that.
He just did an album, King of R&B.
Oh, wow.
No, the fuck he didn't.
Yes,
and it just
he
dropped.
did.
What was that, yesterday?
What's the title track?
Is
he
probably King of R&B. I don't know. Somebody else's
to
song.
I'm gonna have to go on Tidal.
That man probably got two songs he originally did.
And you know what? And then okay. Anyway, go ahead.
But what I was gonna say is, when it comes to hip hop and rap, it's not about the person anymore. I think the one reason why Meg is so hot right now is because she has a personality. She has a personality. She has the talent. She could ride a beat.
Body. She can ride a lot of things.
Right.
And she got a dope pen game too.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of that. Like literally all of that, right? And it's been that long since we've seen it. And plus her shit is, besides the hair, it's natural.
Yeah.
Like she's giving some real authentic shit right now, right?
You can't help but
to
like,
because it's new. It feels refreshing.
And what she gives off is something good. So,
but then
I love her.
But then with hip hop and R&B, it's not about being a lyricist. You don't even have to write.
No.
You just have to be able to
sell the image,
sell the beat. It's not even selling the image. It's selling the beat. It's really all about the engineers now. It's the sound engineers, and it's the sound engineers game right now. And when it comes to hip hop, it's not about a rap artist. It's about who I'm gonna make this beat and who can make my beat.
That is so true, because I know the producers before I know the artists. Like Hitmaker, London on the Track, like DJ Mustard,
Beethoven, right?
Like, wait, who was it again? Say it again.
Take Keith, fuck shit up.
Exactly. Like
that's true though. That's so true.
It's not about the artist anymore.
Yeah. The tags.
Do you have a tag? If you have a production tag, what would your tag be?
My tag actually be somebody else's tag because I really like it.
Okay.
Like, I like that.
Cash Dog's tag is what up. Well, I ain't gonna say it's her tag, but she say what up hoes. That would literally be my tag. Like what up hoes. That's right. Just walk. I don't even be seeing no hoes or nothing. I just like saying it. What up hoes. Just because.
All my hoes.
All of you.
My imaginary hoes all around.
No, back on the video portion, I did want to ask, is there, like, if you had the budget, what type of video styling would you do? Would you be like a Doja Cat?
Because Doja makes some good visuals.
Would you be like a Hype Williams with his like movie type
production?
These folks are.
Like, this is how new I am to the. Well, I'm gonna even say new. This is how.
So Doja Cat, hers are very eccentric, sexy, fun videos,
colorful, kind of futuristic sometimes.
Hype Williams, think 808 and Heartbeats type stuff. All that Kanye projects he did, where it was like storytelling with his music videos. So like, what type of like what?
I guess
would
that's
you
the
want?
one I would want, because I want people to be able to connect the song when they see the video. Like, I don't want it to just like be like far off. I'm talking about falling in love, but the video, it's like protesting and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, where's the correlation?
Yeah.
You know, so I just
That is annoying to me personally.
just to make sure, like, it's like, it's cool to throw it in there because you want to be relevant of what's going on, but it's like, it doesn't make any sense with your song, so what's the point?
Yeah.
But just making sure that my songs actually correlate with what's being said. So if I'm talking about having a good time and turning up, I want the visual to actually make people feel like we done went out on a night of town. I'm a movie person, so all my videos that y'all see, like, it's gonna come off as like, oh my God, I'm watching this.
Is there a movie that you would recreate? Because like
Oh
the
my God,
baby and Little
yes.
Baby did Scarface.
I want to do I want to do ATL, and I want to do some movie I always talk
I
about.
can
And
see
believe
ATL.
Jason's
That would
League.
be
Jason
Really?
League. Okay.
that is out there. I hate that movie.
Well, I really love, like, I don't know why I love it, but that's like really one of
I
my
can
favorite
see that.
movies.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I can see ATL.
I could
for
totally
you.
see ATL.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely want to redo that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all look for that, because we definitely are going to do that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
really excited.
Are you gonna be Ti?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually am.
Just
I'm
I
going
just,
to
I
be
just
the
want to see
T.I.
who Nunu
What up,
is,
Tip?
because Nunu's my dear. She's my girl.
Look, I
me
love
some Nunu.
when I saw
Where's your
Lauren
Nunu?
London for the first time on that. I was just like, oh my gosh, she is so pretty. Like, who is she?
Gorgeous.
Like, yes, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Hi,
The high
to
The
ponytail.
hot ponytail with the door knocker
Yeah.
earrings. Let's get it.
I always rock that new.
Always rock
new
the new.
shit.
That's right, rich girl.
All
That's
right. Love her. So in terms of like the local music scene, is there any like local artists that you may have not have mentioned already that you would like to collab with, or like you've got some collabs coming up with?
Yeah, I want to do a collaboration. I had reached out to a girl. She raps, and I really like her rap style because she kind of gives me like the whole Lil Kim vibes and stuff like that. Like, she's real dope. Her name is Kiwi.
Okay.
She recently did a song with Frankie. So there's her, there's Frank, definitely Dexter. I think Dexter is so dope.
Oh,
I love his energy, and his music is so dope, and his voice is amazing. So I definitely love to work with Dexter. I've already worked with my best friend, which would be Cheney. He makes beats, he writes songs, freaking phenomenal artist. And I'll have to say, I do have a song that I wrote with my cousin that'll be on my project as well. So I'm pretty excited.
Nice. Family love.
Dope.
Yeah.
So do you have any performances coming up? Any live things? Tell us what's
I
next
do.
for Billy Banx.
So what's next for me? For one, I kind of like roll with it. I just got asked to do this lyrical healing open mic thing that goes on or whatever. So I'm gonna be doing that in December. And then I booked North Carolina Music Fest or Music Indie Fest, North Carolina Music Indie Fest, I think it's called, which is coming up March 28th. So you are able to get tickets for those. I'll be posting the Eventbrite and information for that, because I posted it like when they first reached out to me, but I haven't posted it lately because like I've been promoting the whole video and stuff. But that's coming up in March, and I'm really excited about that because this is like one of my biggest crowds that I'll perform for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be on like a big stage, so it's really exciting
You know
for
what's
me.
funny with that? That's a really good look, because I didn't know much about the baby when he wasn't up there, right? But I do remember hearing about him after his first performance at the Indie Fest.
Oh, that's crazy.
So, yeah,
And I feel good about it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Awesome.
That's a good look.
That's a good thing. Oh, thank you.
So how did you
They found
you?
They found me.
Yeah.
Where?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I was like literally
That's a
on
good
my
look.
I was doing something and I
It's
checked my
some
email.
intern somewhere that sat through like 7 million videos.
Listen,
They were like
You know
they said they liked me. They was like you know we see you or whatever, and we would like to invite you to come. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like
yeah,
felt like an accomplishment.
No,
So
definitely.
It
and I'll
is.
definitely say like it's one of those things where I know that I want to do music for the rest of my life. So it's like everything that comes with it, like I take it.
Yeah.
And I look at it as like an honor because everybody doesn't get these opportunities and stuff like this. So I try to take advantage of them and use them in the right way when I do get them. So like, got that coming up. More than likely, I'm pretty sure I'll be performing probably New Year's. Somebody will ask me something. So just waiting on that. Like I'm working on my project though in the meantime. Fallen, #Fallen will be coming out in December. The first week or the second week of December. I haven't decided which actual date yet, but I definitely know the song will be dropping. And it's just I've actually had a snippet of it on my Instagram, but it's more of a ballad kind of feel or whatever. I'm actually doing, giving y'all a little more vocals, I guess you would say.
Showing the range
and no, that and like just really kind of putting more emotion into it.
Gotcha.
Gave y'all a lot more emotion with what I was saying, and like the song really means a lot to me, honestly, because I think it's a feeling that everybody has, and it's one of those things where you be so afraid to move forward because of the stuff that you've already experienced. So it's like one of those things.
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's dope.
All right. So when can we expect possibly the full project? Have you decided on when that might be coming?
Yes, it's gonna be in May.
Okay.
My birthday is May 30th, so I'm gonna actually drop it on my birthday.
Hey, B-Day flex.
Yeah, it's gonna be the big 2-8, and I don't know. I don't know.
Feel right.
Like I said, yeah.
Hey.
It just feels right, so that's
There
what I'm
you
doing.
go.
It's gonna be a party. Like I'm so excited because, like I said, everything that this process has to bring, like I just love it.
Yeah.
So when I take everything as like I said, I just honor every opportunity. Like today is just definitely like one of those things where it's like you just go up from here.
Yeah.
You just go up from here. So I just take it all in.
Nice.
That's super dope. Well, we're excited to see what's coming up next with you. Like, you've already got some great things out there. You've got eyes on you, people that are like rooting for you in your corner, which is so important, and people that are actually there for you, like, for your vision. So wish you best of luck, and we will be following up on everything, and we will be looking for the drops because we got the exclusive now. Because I'm just saying.
Make sure you guys out there that's listening, that's Billy Banx. If you don't know how to spell it, I got my shirts coming out soon so that y'all can have my spelling right. Because
merch. My mic's
okay.
I got a baby.
Your mic is on.
Yes.
It's not off.
It does not sound like
It's totally on.
It's just a little, it's a little loud.
It might be.
It's on.
I don't hear me. I hear y'all so well.
Because mine did that.
It did.
We might just
came back.
we got like
Maybe
the tone. We got that.
No, it came back in
bass.
like it was.
Oh, it went up and down.
We here though. But yeah, merch.
Check out the video though. If y'all haven't seen it, make sure y'all check it out. It's Billy Banx on YouTube. Subscribe to my page. Like y'all, people are really showing me love. Like it's crazy to see my numbers going up the way that they are. So thank everybody that's like out there listening to my music and sharing it. Like it's crazy. So I'm just like I said, just taking it all in.
You know what's so dope? He is very humble. Like very, very humble with everything
Always
that's going
been that
on.
way.
Like that's dope.
You know he fabulous, but like he ain't going like boast about it.
And that's gonna keep you going far.
Yes.
I
For real,
hope
though.
so.
Because like you know that you're the shit, but like you know that you're still working, but everyone else can see you're the shit. And that's the important part. You know what I'm
You
saying?
ain't no Summer Walker.
Oh.
That's what they're gonna be like. You so Billy Banx. You work so hard.
That might be.
I like that.
That might be a good.
That might be it.
That might be it.
That's
The
the
hat-
tweet.
that's
the tweet.
You're so Billy Banx.
You're so Billy Banx.
I like it.
I love it. And that's it, y'all.
That's it.
That's how we do
We're
it.
out.
Well, Billy, thank you for
Thank you
coming
for
on the
talking
show.
to us.
Thank you,
you.
y'all, for
We're
having
excited.
me. Like, I'm ready to do this again. So don't
We're
forget
gonna
me.
definitely have you back because we're
Yeah.
gonna have you back. We want to know the follow-ups.
I'm about to say we
and
definitely
everything.
can have you back once that album dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag album
Right.
dropped.
Okay.
That's right.
So
Your promo
Hashtag let's
tour.
get it. Hashtag going on tour. I'm just kidding.
there you go. Hashtag going on tour.
I'ma finish
Oh yeah,
10
make sure y'all
cities.
look for that. Okay.
Finish off the tour, though.
10
Do it.
cities.
10 cities. Let's go. All right, y'all heard it here first. We're going to have all the information.
What up, hoes? Sorry.
Hashtag what up,
Sorry.
hoes. It's fine. What up, hoes?
It just was a burst of energy
It
there.
happens. You felt it.
The title's
Right.
definitely going to be a hashtag.
It's going to be a
It's gonna be
hashtag.
a hashtag.
It's going to be there. But y'all heard it here first. Make sure y'all continue to check us out each and every Friday. We're going to be coming up on our season 1 finale soon, guys.
Ooh.
It's been a season already. It's crazy. But we got a couple more things in store for you all before we go on break for the holidays and come back fresh for the new year. So make sure you stay in tune for all that. Thank you again to Billy for coming out. We're going to have all the information so you can follow him and download the project and keep up with him in the description of this episode as well as our social media. As always, email us at tawkspod@gmail.com because we need y'all's feedback. We love hearing from y'all. And follow all of us on social media as well. Until the next time, see y'all later.
Later.